My girlfriend said her ex was just crashing on the couch. Now I know she was sleeping with him every afternoon while I was at work. I'm a 30-year-old guy, and I used to think trust was the foundation of a relationship. Now I think it's just a word people use when they're too afraid to look deeper. Her name's Clara. We'd been together for almost 2 years, lived together for the last 9 months. Things weren't perfect. We argued sometimes, mostly about money or her job stress, but I honestly believed we were solid. She was smart, independent, a little chaotic, but full of life. Everyone loved her. My friends said I'd leveled up by dating her. My mom asked if she should start planning a wedding. It started small. A text she left open on the counter while she was in the shower. Hey. I told him it's fine for a few nights. I'll handle it. Don't worry. I didn't recognize the name it was sent to. Some girl named Ines. But I felt that instinctive buzz in my chest. The one that tells you something's not sitting right. That evening, she sat me down in the kitchen and told me the news. So, Damon's gonna stay here a few nights, just on the couch. He's between apartments, and his sister kicked him out. He's got nowhere to go. I blinked. Damien, your ex Damien. She was already defensive. Yes. But it's not like that. It's temporary. He's not some random hookup. We were together for years. He's family to me. That phrase stuck in my head. Family. What kind of person says that about an ex they used to sleep with? I told her it made me uncomfortable, that I didn't think it was a good idea. She swore nothing would happen. You can trust me, she said. He'll be gone in 3 days max. I wish I'd trusted my gut instead. Damien moved in the next day, and from the jump, the vibe was off. He was too at home, too comfortable, calling her Clarinet, like it was still his nickname, touching her shoulder when he walked past. Once, I saw him grab a towel from the bathroom shelf she kept for guests, but it was mine. She laughed like it was nothing. The worst part, I had to go to work. I manage logistics for a supply company, and I can't work from home. So every day, I'd leave at 7:45, and every day, I'd come home at 6:30, and Damien would already be there, feet up, TV on, sometimes shirtless, always grinning. At first, I tried to ignore it, until the Tuesday I came home early. I'd had a minor accident at work, slipped on oil, hit my knee, and the boss told me to take the afternoon. I didn't text Clara because I figured I'd surprise her. Bring lunch, watch Netflix. The second I opened the door, I knew something was off. The living room was dark. The TV was on, but muted. Her shoes were by the door, his jacket on the couch. No sounds, until I got to the hallway. Then I heard it. The bedroom door was half shut, and I heard Clara moaning. I didn't want to believe it. For half a second, I convinced myself she was alone, maybe watching something. Maybe, no. The rhythm of it, the sounds, a second voice, his. I stood there, frozen, hearing my girlfriend get fucked in our bed by her ex. In the middle of a Tuesday, while I was supposed to be at work. I didn't even go in. I turned around, walked out, sat in my car, and just stared. That was 5 days ago, and I still haven't told her I know. Because the key part, the thing that makes this even worse, I found a second set of keys in his jacket. Clara gave him his own set. He wasn't just crashing, he'd moved in, and they'd been doing this behind my back for weeks, maybe longer. And now, I'm planning exactly how to destroy them both. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my car until maybe 11 p.m. engine off, staring at the steering wheel like it was gonna give me answers. I kept thinking, if I go back up now and pretend I don't know, what does that make me? But the truth was, I couldn't face her. Not yet. Not without exploding. So I drove to my brother's place. Didn't explain, didn't give details, just said I needed a couch. The irony of that hit me later. Damien was on mine. I was now on someone else's. The next morning, I went back to the apartment while they were both out. I still had my key. Clara hadn't changed the locks yet, and I needed to know how deep it went. I didn't expect what I found. First, in our bedroom drawer, scratch that, her drawer now, I found a second toothbrush, a pair of men's boxers that weren't mine, a charger I didn't recognize, and underneath a pile of her sweaters, an old Polaroid. Clara and Damien, both naked under a blanket, laughing at the camera. Not a recent pic, I hoped. But still, she'd kept it. Then came the messages. I grabbed her laptop, same password as always, and opened her iMessage. I knew I shouldn't. I did anyway. And there it was. Weeks of text between them. Damien, God, I missed your body. Clara, you should be come. When I was in the shower again. Damien, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Clara, he leaves at 7:45. Come at 8. I felt like throwing up. There were dozens. And not just sex stuff. Real stuff. Talking about me. Damien, he's still working those long hours. Clara, yeah, he's basically never here. He doesn't suspect a thing. Damien, He never deserved you. Clara. I know. I read until my eyes burned. Then I took screenshots. Every message. Every timestamp. And then I opened my email. Sent the files to myself. Labeled insurance. Because I wasn't just gonna walk away from this. They had built an entire little fantasy life behind my back. Right under my nose. They laughed about it. Planned it. Scheduled it between lunch and Netflix. And me. I paid the rent. I bought groceries. I folded her laundry. I didn't confront them that day. I locked the door on my way out. Like nothing had happened. But in my head, I started planning something I never thought I'd have the stomach for. Not revenge. Not yet. Just truth. But told publicly. Because if Clara and Damien want to act like I'm invisible, then I'll make sure everyone else sees them exactly as they are. I spent the next 2 days watching them from the outside. I didn't go back to the apartment. I stayed at my brother's, kept my phone on silent, and let Clara's texts pile up. First it was, "Hey babe, where are you?" Then, "I'm starting to get worried." Then the guilt kicks in, you can't just disappear like this. And finally, the gaslight cherry on top, if you're upset about something, you can talk to me like an adult. Meanwhile, I kept checking our building's security camera feed. Yeah, that's the one good thing I did right when we moved in. I installed a camera in the hallway, pointed at our door. Clara said it was paranoid, but I insisted after someone stole a package. Never thought it would be her I'd catch with it. I saw him, Damien, leaving around 4 p.m. coming back around 10 a.m. the next day with a croissant bag and coffee tray like he was bringing breakfast to his girlfriend, which, apparently, he was. At one point, he even kissed her outside the door before they went in. Broad daylight. Like I didn't exist. I wasn't angry in a loud, dramatic way. I was quietly furious. The kind of cold rage that creeps into your bones and makes you see everything like you're watching it through glass. I started gathering everything. The texts, backed up to a secure folder. The screenshots, sorted by date. Photos from our hallway camera. Copies of receipts I'd paid. Rent, utilities, even a spa gift card I'd given Clara for her birthday. Turns out she used it with him. And I also did something petty. I canceled the Netflix account, which I paid for, the Spotify Premium, the HelloFresh subscription. I even called the landlord and let him know I was terminating the lease at the end of the month. When Clara finally called me from another number, I picked up. She sounded panicked. "Where the hell are you?" I answered calmly. "Does Damien know you're calling me?" Silence. Then, "Don't do this. Don't turn this into something it's not." I almost laughed. "Clara, I walked in on you, to having sex. You told me he was just crashing. You gave him a key. You planned it. You lied. Every single day." She tried crying. I didn't bite. She said it was a mistake. That she was confused. That she never wanted to hurt me. I said, "Then you shouldn't have started sleeping with him before I even moved in." She froze. Yeah, I knew. Because while I was digging, I'd found a thread of messages from 3 months before we got the apartment together. Same pattern. Same images. Same Damien. They never stopped sleeping together. Not once. I told her she had 48 hours to get all her stuff out before I boxed it myself and dumped it in the storage unit downstairs. And then, before hanging up, I said the one thing I knew would hit her the hardest. You didn't cheat on a boyfriend, Clara. You lived a double life for 2 years. And now, you don't even get to rewrite it. Next, I was about to make sure everyone saw her truth. Not out of revenge, but because people like Clara and Damien rely on silence, shame, confusion, and I wasn't playing that game anymore. It's been nearly a year now. I don't talk about Clara much anymore. When people ask why I left our old place, or why I suddenly went off the grid that summer, I just say, long story, breakup stuff. And that's enough, because the people who matter, the ones who stayed, already know the truth, and they never judged me for needing time to heal. Sometimes, though, I still think about that afternoon. The day I walked in on them. That flash of skin, her face going pale, the silence that sucked all the air out of the room. Not because I'm still hurt, but because that was the moment everything changed. That was the moment I stopped romanticizing potential. Clara was all potential. She had charm, beauty, intelligence but no follow-through. She liked to feel loved without actually doing the work love demands. She liked the safety I gave her, but craved the chaos Damien brought. And instead of choosing between the two, she tried to keep both. On my time, in my home. She told me once that she hated people who made her feel trapped. What she meant was, she hated people who held up a mirror. And I did. I saw her. Fully. And she hated me for that more than she ever loved me. But I'm done carrying that weight. The truth is, I was enough. I was more than enough. I was a man who gave everything, his time, his trust, his home, to someone who never deserved it. That's not weakness. That's clarity. Because when I find love again, and I will, it won't be with someone who calls me Plan B behind my back. It'll be with someone who sees stability not as boring, but as beautiful, as strength. And to anyone who's ever been where I was, blindsided, broken, made to feel like a placeholder in their own life, I want to say this: you're not stupid. You're not NAVE. You're not overreacting. You were lied to. That's all. And you have every right to be angry, to heal slowly, to rebuild at your own pace. I'm finally building something new, on my own terms, with boundaries, with self-respect, with eyes wide open. And if Clara ever stumbles across this story, if she ever recognizes herself in these words, I hope it stings. Not because I want her to suffer, but because for once, the truth didn't go quiet, and I didn't disappear. I stayed. I stood up. I spoke. And now, I finally feel like myself again. But honestly, after everything, I don't even know what to do with this piece. Follow me for more stories.